There's no question that the modest duffel bag is a staple to the travel world. Their overall simplicity, versatility, and durability have stood the test of time. I'm Tom, the founder of Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and ringing that bell to receive notifications for whenever we post a new video. Our team of world travelers and gearheads have tested and reviewed hundreds of different types of travel-focused gear, and in this video, we're talking about duffel bags. We've been testing over 50 duffels for both the daily grind and travel, including domestic and international flights. We've even made a detailed guide on how to choose the best duffel bag to fit your travel needs, so make sure to go check it out over on our website, packhacker.com. We'll link to it in the description below. We recommend you open up a new tab and follow along with this video or bookmark it for later. We won't be covering everything from the written guide in this video because if we did, it would be really long. We will, however, be covering how you can choose the best duffel bag for you, some reasons why you may want one, and the different types and categories of duffels, as well as how they break down. And remember, we'll have some examples in the video as well, a lot of which we've fully reviewed over on the website, so we'll leave links to those in the description below as well. Let's jump into the video. There are so many ways to haul your stuff, so why choose a duffel bag? If you've watched any of our videos before, you'll know we're big fans of one bag travel using nothing but a backpack. But there are some times when traveling with a duffel just makes sense. First of all, there's two bag travel, which, you guessed it, involves two bags. Essentially, you shove your clothes, toiletries, and other gear into a larger duffel bag while packing your laptop, tech accessories, and in-flight essentials into a smaller day pack. This is how Nathan and Rebecca on the team recently traveled from London to the US and back. Duffels are also great for road trips, mainly because they're very easy to stack up in the trunk of your car and you can just easily toss them in. Plus, depending on the duffel, you can squish them into random nooks and crannies left over from your other stuff. Duffels are also easy, simple, and just generally no frills. They can usually hold a lot of stuff. If you have a lot of stuff but zero patience to organize it, you'll love a duffel. Just toss everything in and you're good to go. Additionally, a duffel can look more professional than other bags out there. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule, but it stands true the majority of the time. Finally, you may just be a big fan of duffel bags and you want to make one work for any use case that you have. And that's great. You can usually find quality duffels at affordable price points. Duffels are tremendously popular bags and we don't see that changing anytime soon. So we broke them out into categories and we want to take you through each one. So the categories include classic, hybrid, digital, roller, and alternate. So let's jump into these categories and see what each has to offer. The classic duffel is a duffel bag in its simplest form. It's usually a long horizontal bag with a zipper down the middle lengthwise, two grab handles, and usually a shoulder strap. The organization is minimal. You might find a couple of pockets inside or at the end of the bag. But that simplicity is what makes the classic duffel so versatile. That being said, if you want to add some organization, we recommend using packing cubes or compression sacks to compartmentalize your gear inside. Make sure to check out our guide on how to choose the best packing cubes for you, link in the description below. If you're interested in two-bag travel, the classic duffel is a solid option. Your tech and in-flight essentials are organized in your smaller backpack, and then you can just throw your clothes and bulkier items in the duffel, and you're good to go. Peak Design's 32-liter duffel blends that simplistic style, along with a couple of Peak Design's modernized features as well, like magnets on the handles and such. There's a bit more organization here than you typically see in classic duffels, but we find ourselves being able to use the space really well. It's also a great looking bag, so we hold aesthetic polls over on our Instagram channel, and this is one of the highest rated bags in terms of look. The Topo Designs Classic Duffel is a simple bag that can fit plenty of stuff. About as classic as a duffel can be, it's even in the name. It's made in the USA and built to last with some super durable hardware. It's available in a few different colors, but we've really been digging the all black on black colorway. If you're after a more heritage vibe, the Nutsack Duffel is a solid option. Made with wax canvas and leather accents, this bag not only looks good, but it's durable too. The downside to a duffel bag like this is the weight. It's pretty heavy, weighing in at about 3 pounds empty. But if you can get past that, it is a solid bag that won't let you down. And yes, there is a version that doesn't have the nutsack logo right on it, just the acorn. A hybrid duffel is a bag that can be carried both as a duffel and a backpack. We like the idea of a hybrid duffel, or buffel as we sometimes call them, because they tend to be versatile. You get the benefits of a duffel, simplicity, durability, and space, with the option to carry it as a backpack when you find yourself covering long distances. However, we usually find these things being mediocre as a backpack and a duffel combined, and they don't really excel at being one or the other. In general, we prefer to have either an exceptional backpack or an exceptional duffel. That said, these packs are very popular, and if you have the right use case, there's a ton to choose from. A slimmer profile is better for hybrids, not only because the handles are closer together for an easier carry and duffel mode, but the bag will also sit tighter against your back when converted to backpack mode. The recurring theme of a lot of these bags is that they lack the traditional structure that a backpack would, so it can create a saggy carrying experience while in backpack mode compared to a travel backpack. The North Face Basecamp Duffel is one of the most popular hybrid bags out there, and it is available in a ton of different colorways. You have this funky purple and teal one here that we reviewed over on the site. It's surprisingly comfortable to carry as a backpack, and these shoulder straps also act as duffel handles, so they can be hard to grab a hold of when you're in duffel carrying mode. Another big hitter in the hybrid duffel market is the Patagonia Black Hole Duffel. This is the 40-liter version. In contrast to the North Face Basecamp Duffel, this thing has separate shoulder straps and duffel handles, which makes for a better carry overall, but those two modes of carry can interfere with one another. We like the new recycled black hole fabric that Patagonia uses, and it's holding up really well after some solid testing. Again, we've reviewed this fully over at packhacker.com. Finally, the Tom Bin Aeronaut 45 is a maximum size carry-on bag that can be carried as a backpack, a messenger bag, and of course, a duffel. We like the clever design and the ability to integrate with other Tom Bin products. Overall, it's a versatile pack that performs well when it comes to one-bag travel. The digital duffel, as we've been calling it over here at Packhacker, is the new and exciting up-and-comer to the duffel bag family. It's designed to hold all of your travel gear and your clothing, as well as all of your tech. There's typically a ton of organization, including a dedicated laptop compartment, which is something you won't find on other duffel bags. Again, we are huge fans of backpacks here at Packhacker, but we do understand that they can come off a little bit casual in a business meeting, especially one that you have traveled halfway across the country or world for. A messenger bag may work even better for business purposes, but sometimes you're going to have to bring your travel bag into a meeting because you're walking off a plane and into the office. If you're a digital nomad or a frequent business traveler and want to travel with a duffel bag, a digital duffel is a great option. When it comes to organizing all of your accessories, few do it better than the Air Travel Duffel. A sophisticated travel duffel with durable materials and some great organization, we think this is one of the sleeker of the digital duffels that we have reviewed to date. The laptop compartment does lack a false bottom, so we'd recommend putting your laptop in a sleeve for added protection. If you want all the details about this bag and several other of the duffels in this video, make sure to check out the full reviews at packhacker.com, link in the description below. At 35 liters, the packed one is large enough to use for one bag travel. Plus, its streamlined and minimal design allows it to work well for trips to the coffee shop too. This thing opens up in a full clamshell style, which makes it really easy to pack. And the external pockets come in handy to organize all your tech accessories and travel essentials. The Tortuga Set-Out Duffel was designed in conjunction with the Tortuga Set-Out laptop backpack to be used as a two-bag travel system. That being said, with its own laptop compartment and plenty of organization, this thing can still work well on its own for one-bag travel too, and it is a great option if you're looking for a digital duffel. This one's easy. It has wheels. Wheeled duffels are good when you're traveling with a ton of stuff and it's just not practical to carry the weight. And they usually have duffel-style handles or a shoulder strap that make them easy to pick up, and they're much easier to maneuver around rough terrain compared to something like roller luggage. Almost all the well-known brands, including Patagonia, Osprey, Eagle Creek, and the North Face, offer a roller version of their duffels, which tend to have a larger capacity than their non-roller counterparts. Make sure to pay attention to the quality and the size of the wheels. Your intended use case matters a lot here. If you're planning on using a roller duffel for camping or outdoor adventures, the wheels need to be hardy enough to go over mud, dirt, and trails. If you're planning on wheeling your duffel through the airport and from your Uber to your hotel, the wheels don't need to be as robust. The Thule Subterra wheel duffel is part of the Subterra series that we are big fans of over here at Packhacker. This thing has some big and chunky wheels on it, which make it easy to roll. A unique feature of this duffel is that it can actually be split into 2 independent carry-on compliant pieces. You may or may not need this depending on your use case, but it's great to have the option. Next up, we have the Arc'teryx V80 rolling duffel, which is one of the easiest bags to pull and glide around with. This is largely thanks to its large, sturdy aluminum frame, big handles, and giant wheels. The rounded square shape of the bag is designed for maximum packing, but it can be a bit cumbersome due to the frame. Finally, the Eagle Creek Cargo Hauler. This is a 110-liter beast of a bag. It can be carried as a backpack, which is a bit crazy at the size when it's fully packed out. And believe it or not, it can actually be compressed down and packed away when not in use. It's also available in a fair amount of interesting colorways, so there's a ton to choose from. There's not much structure or a solid handle, so we found rolling this bag when not packed full to be a little bit frustrating. Those are the 4 main categories of duffel for travel, and of course there are a bunch of other duffels for specific use cases, so we'll cover what we can in this alternate section. First of all, packable duffels. They can be packed and compressed into themselves and put in a larger bag. It's important to note that some of these are more packable than others. For instance, the North Face Base Camp duffel could be considered packable because it has its own carrying case, but it would be difficult to throw into a 1-bag travel bag. Therefore, we don't really consider it a packable duffel. At just over 6 ounces, the Osprey Stuff Duffel is one of the smallest and most packable duffels around. We've tested a fair amount of ultralight Osprey gear, and the 40D ripstop nylon and YKK zippers they use have all fared reasonably well, even after extended use. If you're in search of a packable duffel, this one from Osprey is a good choice. A weather-resistant duffel is exactly what you'd imagine, basically a duffel that is resistant to moisture and water. These are great for adventures that may involve heavy precipitation, boats, rivers, and waterfalls. Unlike most weather-resistant duffels that will just feature highly weather-resistant zippers and materials, the Yeti Panga is actually fully submergible. This is a great duffel to have if you are wading through a river on an adventure vacation. Like most Yeti products, this thing is made with durable materials, and despite how it looks, this thing is relatively comfortable to carry, both as a duffel and a backpack. Next up, we have gear haulers, which are essentially huge duffels. Most people won't need anything this big, but if your use case needs it, a gear hauler is what you'll want when you're lugging around a ton of stuff. At 90 liters, the Mystery Ranch Mission Duffel is a big bag and a great gear hauler. It's built to last, and no matter how you throw this thing around, it should stand the test of time. The Mystery Ranch Mission Duffel is also available in 40 liters and 55 liter sizes too. But when you have a ton of stuff, the 90 liter is the way to go. Finally, the Weekender is a more tote-adjacent style of duffel bag. They're typically a little bit more polished and perfect if you take lots of weekends away or short business trips. They're also a handy bag to take to the gym. The Low & Sons Catalina Deluxe is a great example of a traditional weekender bag. We like the aesthetic you get with the organic cotton material, and it feels great to the touch, but just note that it can make the bag a bit floppy at times. With smart organization and thoughtful features, the Low & Sons Catalina Deluxe is a stylish and versatile weekend bag. So there you have it. We have taken you through how to choose the best duffel bag for you, as well as some examples of duffel bags that are out there in the different types. Be sure to let us know what you think of this video in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to go check out that guide at packhacker.com or bookmark it for later use. And as always, we reviewed a lot of these bags over on the website as well. So if you're curious about any of them, we likely have some content over there. Thanks for keeping it here at Packhacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next video.